Welcome back to Shapes 2. My name is Nilaus and we're here with the update 1, and it is the second episode of our Let's Play. And what I'm going to do today is getting a little bit more structure to it. And also, there was a little bit of an oopsie. And this is typical me, that I tend to sometimes just make things overly complicated. For example, I have this shape, and then I just wanted to plop down the shape. So instead I split it into something, did all these weird things, which is, I mean, I got the opportunity to design something new and all, but what I could have done is just take all of this out, actually, and just do that, right? That would be exactly the same thing. Because there's no point in splitting this 3/4 cake and putting it in. So, yep, sometimes we make things a little bit too silly. What we're going to do today is we can see that the tasks, I actually want to do tasks because we want tasks for more platform limits, and we also want to do some blueprint updates. So instead of this one making one, we should make the stuff that makes 2 updates, 2 here. Could actually get that one, but I think we'll get that one if we get that colored. Then it makes sense to just add some color to it, but that'll gonna be next time. So we want to make some designs here. Well, some of the designs we have are okay. They function and work, but they're not pretty. So let's tighten it up a little bit. First of all, I actually want to clean this up. Now that's cleaned up. And this is because we only have 4 entrances here, and we can get more. Let's have a look at our research point. Updating to next level is not really what I need. I want a trash thingy. I'd like to save up for the 3rd floor. This is what we're going to do today. Overflow splitter, I don't really feel like that's a thing. These weird shapes are not really relevant. But let's get this one and that one. That might be better, which kind of makes no sense what I've done now, because I could have just... silly me. And so again, it's updated. So now we can actually take 2 lanes, or 8 lanes in from either side. 2 different places. That's good. That is I don't use this for construction because I find that to be like completely wasted. Right. First things first is that we need to clean up all the stuff that we don't need anymore. So all of this is just completely junk. Oof, I hope I'm correct. And since I have saved the blueprint, then we can always rebuild it if we need it. The only thing that actually belongs is this one. That's the only thing that we actually need right now, and maybe that's actually something I want to replace first, so that we replace all of this. There we go, starting from scratch. Okay, we have a lot of platform limits, we have some blueprint points, but they're not accruing. So what I want to do is I want to go out here and I want to find some place where we have the shape. So this is actually the shape we want, but we could actually find another place where we either... Oh, there's also another one here. That Millennium Falcon shape is kind of common. What we could also do is find a place where we have the ingredients we need. For example, let's say that is a diagonal, and there, this diagonal plus that diagonal could be combined, and then it forms the top part of this one. And because this is a blueprint build, then I really want to build it big. So we want 8 lanes of this out. That's going to be the first challenge here, because then we can sort of feel comfortable about using blueprints. So here we have the 2 ingredients. I have now set up binding and brought it in. It takes about 100 here, so it's expensive. So what we want to do now is, since this is coming in on 2 lanes, or 2 levels, so it's 4 on one lane and 4 on the other, 4 lanes on one level, 4 lanes on the other level. That means we now need to make a input here that's not only in 1 level, but actually in 2 levels. And that's going to be, well, tricky, because that means we need more, more stackers everywhere, right? So we need to get the stacker. We're going to be using the bent stacker. I don't think it's necessary, but I kind of like this one better because it's a little bit faster. And this is going to be like the basic formula. So here, these 4 are needed for 1 lane. So this is 1 lane, and then okay, we're gonna be 2, and then there. This will be the idea of it. Here, copy, flip, there. That's as close as they can go. So it'll be like 1, 2, here, go up 3, 4, and then these are also coming out. Straight out here. straight out and go above and go above. So that's the outbound side. Now I need to get the stuff inbound. Hold on, there's also a problem that I need a rotator. So I'm just gonna make a rotator here. Because it just needs to be rotated by one tile. That one. It feels like we've done this one before. There. But at least... man, I'm using blueprint points and I really shouldn't be using blueprint points for something trivial like this. There. There. So that comes in 4 lanes and... whew, okay. So now I need to decide. I actually want to decide at this point that this is going to be the ground level. So that basically it's more logical to say the stuff that comes in from the side is going to be put on top. That just makes more sense to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around here and jump this. And then I'm going to get basically 2 lines in here. There. And they will be going... yeah, all of this has to be top level. And then this. There. Nope. These 2 and there. So at least there's now room for these 4 to go by, which means what I need on this side is I want... let's see, these will go above, so that's the easiest. Actually, I'll take this one now. Here. Yeah. And if you do not have this stacker yet, or this, then the other one just actually works fine. I can see nothing wrong with that. Well, actually, yes, there is a problem, because I wouldn't be able to go up here. But I can drag it back and go up that way and turn around, I think. Okay, so now I need to get the top ones. This will go all the way in and get here. That was easy. Next one. Also easy. Next one goes from down here up. And like this. Okay. That was actually not so bad. Let's try to do the other side. It was also possible to get it in here on the other side in a pretty neat manner. I have not sort of minimized the amount of belts, but I have maximized the overview of this. So it's pretty straightforward to see what's going on here. And we're going to see the next ones coming in at long last. They are finally coming in. And they will just go in here and then we'll get all that out. So from here, we're going to get... let's go around this one. Let's go to the belts. Just go out here. And then it needs to go into... that location where we'll actually be getting this stacker in again. If it works, let's see if it works. Yes, it's worked. I mean, in this case, I didn't need a stacker. I could also just use the swapper, but I'm gonna need a stacker for the next part, the actual stacking part. So we're gonna go use that. And the rule is that the stuff that comes in from the side is going on top. So that's why I'm doing this. So this goes on top of the other one. The only question is, no, it's not. Okay, so if I look at like this, then it's the same shape. Then I need to turn clockwise 1 step. So that means there, which is something that we kind of have already. So we take this. Stop using all the blueprint points. And that is... and then we got it out here, and it should now be the correct shape. And you get a little Bitcoin symbol here, or blueprint symbol. There we go. So as that comes in, we are going to start seeing our blueprint points. I wouldn't say skyrocket, but they're certainly going to get there. We can also see that we used 373 platform units just for making blueprints. That is insane. But the good news about this, though, is that later on, we will also be at this point able to, if only there was some blue nearby. Well, painted blue. There, this one. It could just drag it in here and paint it blue, and then we get 5 times points. But that's not today. Good. So that's a pretty good one. Let's start looking at something. Some of these that give us points. This one I'm going to be taking a look at because I think that's interesting. and it's also very much almost this one. So how are we going to get this? Oh, that's not really the right one. Here, and we are now, as tempting as it is, we're actually not going to double up these milestones. I only need 4 lanes. So also to save blueprint points and platform points, we are only going to make it in 1 level. So because these milestones complete pretty quickly. Right, so what is it we want to do first? We want to design a splitter that splits diagonals, so that we take the diagonals and split them aside so that we have the white ones and the blue ones separately. Now we already have a blueprint that almost does this, but I think we can make a better one. We already had one that sort of cuts the diagonals, and then we can just do 2. But we want to do something more clever, because of course we do. So let's put ourselves to the challenge here of saying, let's make one that takes the diagonals and splits them. Okay, so how does that work? Well, we just need to find out how one of them work, and then it's all a matter of just squeezing it in. Just. Right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get a good cutter here, and I'm going to flip it. So let's see what happens. That splits it like this. Then if I rotate these two and merge them back together. Oh, wow. Well, that was easy. There we go. And that's the easy part. The hard part, though, is managing so many, because I'm going to get one of them out to the side and the other one straight forward. So that's going to be a challenge. We need to make it extremely compact. So I'm going to put it here, and I'm actually going to flip it. No, that's not it. Flip it, and then here, and flip it again. There. Why like this? Because if you look at the outbounds, then they're actually next to each other, like that. And these are then also, and then we can use the new feature that we have variable length here, like that. And that is pretty much as good as this can be, because now we have the 2 outputs on various sides. It's very important for me that I don't use this first floor, because eventually I would want this to work for 12 lanes, and if in order for it to work for 12 lanes, I would need it to be fully constrained on 1 lane. So it'd be super easy for me to right now just bring it up a level and just drag it out. But that's not allowed, because I want to be designing this, and then once I get to 2 lanes, it's simply the same layer twice, and then 3 lanes or 3 heights, it's the same level thrice. So what if we do this thing here? Yeah, actually I need to get all of this in just to get a sense of how compact it is there. I have exactly 4 here, which is what I'm going to need in order to get 4 outbounds on this side. So I could actually go like this. That would go here, and then it would be like that. And then I can get up here, and this one. So far so good. And you can go that way, and the other ones should be pretty straightforward, like that. Right, so that's the easy part. Now the hard part, and this one is the bane of my existence, because you can see I can go up here, I can go here, but this one, there is no way. There simply is no way. And it gets worse than that, because if I decide to shunt this one up, then I have the problem up here. So somehow we're gonna have an issue with this part. I'm actually thinking maybe, would it be possible to flip this one? Basically, instead of having this, I'd really like this one to be visible what's coming in. But what if I did this? Let's see, these are like that, and that would be you outbound. Yes. Would it then be possible to flip this? Yeah. That one, and no, it's not working. Well, actually it is working. Because look at this, I can actually get up here and get it one closer. So with this little silliness, I actually managed to get an extra space. That goes out here. This one goes out here. And you go out and up. So that's the outbound. Now we need to figure out the inbounds. So I'm going to need an inbound here. Oh man, the new variable length are coming in so clutch right now. Here. And that works. And you are going to go in here. Yes. And then finally we can actually get this passed. And that will go up. Can I just... No, I can't. Here. And these are definitely not going to be here either. They'll be like this. Can I... Yes, it actually leaps over. There was something about automatically doing this. There we go. So it leaps over, and goes in here. Does this work? Huh. If it works, it's amazing. I mean, this thing is a little bit of a hack, but I mean, it's the smallest of hacks, and it's in a corner that's completely useless, so I'll accept it. Oh, what about you? You're not really there. This one. Tab that. There you go. So that goes in, and there's also something missing here. Okay, so that has the 4 correct ones, and that has the 4 correct ones. Great, and this one can actually be done in multiple stories. That's an amazingly cool blueprint. Did not think I could do that, but I could. Hey, sweet. Now there's only one problem with this. This is not what we wanted, because I'm gonna make this shape, and this shape is different. So what are we? How are we going to do that? That means we are going to need to have some sort of build that can, what do you say, like split or take the two things that are next to each other, or the diagonals, to side by side. That's basically what I want. I want a diagonal to side by side. That's something I might need generally if I have like a diagonal. That could be anything out here where I have something like this, and I wanted these to be not next to each other, but actually diagonally. Then that would make sense to do. Are we getting any blueprint points, by the way? Let's check. No. Okay, but they're coming in. So we're not getting them yet. So let's be careful about spending our precious blueprint points. But what we can do is I'm going to build this, and because I know it's going to be this big. There's no chance that it's not going to be this big. Because what are we going to do? We are going to start by simply splitting it. Then I'm going to take one of them onwards, and then one of them turn, and then I will merge them back together. There we go. So I just need this build, which is kind of the same as this build, except it is a lot easier because I don't need 2 outputs. So this can definitely be done in this space here, but it can't be done anywhere else. Actually, let me just do this design here. There. That one. This is what I want. And then I'm going to be building, first of all, one of them is going to be here. And then let's see, this is the next one. So you're going to be here, 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 and here. Right? That makes this in the middle. Makes it easier to manage, which means we can go out here and go. Ah, this is going to look so orderly. I like it. And on the outbound side, it's going to be exactly the same. And you might be thinking like, oh, this is a huge area to spend on some simple operation. But this simple operation, we design it once and we use it 20 times during this playthrough, or 50 times, or however much. There. So this is worth it. And we now have this one available. Cool. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, except I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to work. Ah, this is 1600. Damn. Because, yes, it's wobbly. So remember to undo and not do anything else. So we're going to be taking this up here and then getting up. And then we're going to be doing a design. Oh, how often do I have to redesign this one? Well, anyway, you don't need to look at it. There, that should be fine. So now it just rotates, and then I get this out. Okay, so now I just need them to stack on top of each other. And we have... Oh, I did have a stacker, but I really disliked the stacker. I really disliked the way that I built the stacker. So I'm going to redo the stacker just because it was awful. So this is just a one-to-one stacker. So there, and that one goes in here. All right, so basically I was just thought about how simple I could make it. And then I felt a little bit stupid last time, because I just instinctively made it way more complex than it had to be. And you can use the bent one or these ones. So basically, we want the stuff coming in from the side to go on top. So this goes at the bottom. Feels a little silly how complicated I made it last time now. This is going to be in here. Yeah, that is... There, cut these out so we don't have that. There we go. That's just it. Except it's the blue on top of red. Okay, never mind. So I'll cut this and put it over here. Flip it and one. There. Now I get the right one. Yay! And that is a design that goes straight in and everyone's happy. The next one is really simple. I'm going to be making this one, and I just happen to have exactly what I need. So I could be using the blue one as well, because I'm going to need more blue dots at some point, I think, but I can't really cope with that kind of design. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to just take this out and get this one. And also look at our blueprint points. They are going up lightning fast. And by lightning fast, I mean like they are eventually going up a little bit. Here, cut. What am I going to get out? That's literally the only thing I didn't want to get out. So I'm going to take you and go one up. Then I'm going to set all the cutters here. And then I am going to get a rotator and just check this one. There we go. And that is also coming back. There. And the last one, we have the circle here, and we have a square. I mean, anywhere that we need a square. So this location here, it's going to be really simple. We are going to take some of this out and actually make ourselves a little space. So we're going to be making it here. We're going to start by simply cutting all of it in half, then rotating it, and then cutting it again. Like that. So that comes out as a single one. This will also be built over on this side. And I just happen to get a red one, which is exactly what I need. And then I just need to check that if I turn the red one the correct way, there, then I need to take you and also rotate. Oh, you're actually in the right way. Oh, that's nice. Really? That's the top right? And you are also top right. Okay, so that it didn't make any sense that they were both going to be correct. So all this needs is simply, oops, this one, cut. Yeah. And then there was someone saying I was moving, emptying belts. That's nice. Thank you. And then we just hover here and see that one. Good. And then we get our new 2x2 stacker, which is down here, or this simple little stacker, which is very nice. And I'm going to make it here. So you're going to go in and you're going to go in here and in there. Perfect. That should be the design. And we're already ready with the next one. There. I have deselected this hunter's badge because it requires blue circles, and I don't have any blue circles around, so that would require paint, which I don't have. So now the next one is kind of the same thing, except here we don't have to use this one where we split. Then we could also use one that we just cut it, or we can go into the methodology of saying, you know what, if we have something that works, then let's try and use that, right? Let's try using this more. So for example, we just take this one over here, that one, and then we get the blue one out. So the blue ones is the ones that we need here, and that means we also need this, and we need this here. And if we do that, then we should get the blue ones. Perfect. And they will just need to be merged before something else. Let's see. Because the... Okay, so let's just destroy this. So what happens now is that I want this to... one of these to be rotated. Yeah, this one should be rotated 180 degrees, and we zoom in and we get there. So now this is the bottom one, and this is the top one. Great. So they will now need to be set in here, and then we now get a new shape, which isn't going to be used. And then I want this shape to be put on top of the other shape. I'm going to put it like this so that it's turned the right way, which means that you also need to be turned. Turn this so that it, yeah, and then I need, and then flip, and there we go. That should be it. Yes. Look how fast it is. Sure, we're going to use a ton of points here, but it's so easy to make these designs now. This is lovely. All right, and we already got the next one. This one will again be incredibly simple. 1, 2, and 3, maybe, or maybe actually like this. So we kind of use this area, and there. So what do we have? We have exactly the same, and I'm going to be cutting you out and then rotating it. We just had a 180 rotator. That's here. Rotate, and then we had our stacker. That's here. I hope you can kind of see why this is how we build it. I don't know if you're watching other content creators and if they are doing the same thing. That they are. They know where you got it from. But it's just, there's just no way you can build as fast as this. And sure, you need lots of building blocks. But once you've got the building blocks of like stacking, cutting, rotating, that kind of thing. Did I just put 2 rotators after each other? I did. Of course I did. Because that's just who I am. All right. That would be a little silly. No, this one is... No, this is actually not. This is correct. So it rotates, cuts, and then it rotates 180. Yeah. So it was not redundant. And what happens now is just look at this, and it's already done with the next one. So you definitely don't need more than 4 lanes, and even 4 lanes is probably too much. So now we just need to figure out. This is going to be a much different method here, because here I am just taking 1 out. But what I really want to do is... yeah, this is a square. I really want to look for a shape that has the white ones here next to each other. That would be so much easier. No, I made a mistake. I forgot this. This is not working because it jams. How silly of me. How silly of me. Also, this is weird. 1, 2. That one goes here. This one goes... there. So now that should be all lanes. Yes, all lanes working. But here we actually need a special block. That's going to be a block that we're going to need in the future. That is going to be a block that requires... Did we get the trash? Yes, we did get the trash. So that's here. Like that. It just throws them out because that's kind of needed. Because I just realized that I found something out here. That's one. This actually has the white circle and the white square next to each other, which is what we need. So let's grab this and bring it home. So last time we actually did a cut diagonal, and since we want to cut the diagonal of this one, then let's use that blueprint. That blueprint is here. Cut the diagonal, and if we place it, we're cutting the wrong diagonal, so undo, and that means we need to get a rotator. This one, Not a 180 rotator, just a rotator. This is set to 180, but we can go in and then just replace it with whatever else. There we go. And then I get the blueprint we built last time. They're cutting the diagonal, and then it should be cutting the correct diagonal. Yes. And whether we need to rotate it or not, we'll do that when we get it back to where we need it. So this is like long distance. This is like, what is better, to spend a lot of points here bringing it home or making a more complex factory? I don't know. And here again, I'm going to do this and see what comes out. Exactly what we need. And my guess is that we are going to need a rotator here. So eventually we'll put these in blueprints, but that's not until we... well, I will put them in blueprints for Patreon supporters. So if you are a Patreon supporter, you actually get all these blueprints that I'm using here. Okay, maybe not these simple rotator blueprints, but this one should now be ready to collapse. This is out. And then I have the beautiful new stacker. There we go. And that's our shape. I love it. And that goes nice and easy in here. There we go. That's the next one. This is beautiful. We get only 2 points. It's not a lot of points, but at least we get 30 more platforms. So what is the next thing? So it takes basically the shape we have, and then it adds this shape on top. So either we can take the shape, you know what, let's actually try something here. So there should be a search function, wasn't there? Wasn't there a search function F? No, I thought, oh, shape filter, there. Any shape? Oh, this is a weird one. Why can't I not just highlight specific types of shape? Asteroids. Huh. Okay, I thought I would be putting in my filter to find it. So this is like that. Okay, that's a little bit any color. Yeah, okay, that's not really helpful. I thought I would be able to put in my my shape code and then it would be helping find it, but maybe that's cheating or too good. In this case, we're actually just going to make the filter ourselves because we have everything. We have a delete diagonal. Oops, there. And does it delete the right part of the diagonal? Huh. That's odd. Why does it not give us anything? Why does it not tell us what's the outbound? Oh. Okay, right. It doesn't tell us because there is no outbound. Yeah, okay. So we need to rotate it to see what happens. Because there is definitely a way that it works. This one is... there. There we go. That was what we need. Okay, so we now have the half the shape, and then we're going to be over on the other side. Over on this side, we're just going to be killing this one. Here, here, here. And that's going to be just a nice little shape of deleting. And that just needs to delete. Yeah, that's not it. Delete and rotate. Rotate and delete. Nope, rotate another way. That one. Good. And then we might as well make sure that it gets put the right way. So let's see. This one is correct according to this one now. So keep the rotation correct. And is this the correct rotation? Yes, it is. Okay. And then you need to be in the lower left-hand corner. That is not it. So we'll just rotate it again. There, lower left-hand corner. So this thing here is what we want to build. And then we merge it together. And then I also need to merge it up here. So we're going to start by taking a merger in on this side. This is not rotate, flip here. And we'll get an inbound, that one. And then we need to get here and that one. And get the same one in again. And these are just going to be stacked on top. That's going to be fine. And inbound. Let's see it resolves. It resolves into the correct shape. Perfect. And in the meantime, next one completed. So we're now seeing this we previously built, but we sort of, by keeping up a good pace, we can actually design fast enough to keep 3 of these going. This is absolutely crazy. Not used to this before. So what do we have now? This is the same shape as before, but then we do another of these shapes. This is pretty simple as long as we can get enough down here. So we can. And this one is here and here. So that goes in. So basically what it is I want to do is I want to create this one. Isn't that beautiful? Like, seriously, how beautiful is this? Let's see. Yes. Good. So we get a shape like that. And this now needs to go on top of the final shape. The final shape is, the previous final shape was here. Actually, this one needs to go down here, and then we go down a level and go over. That's the multi-level thing. And from here, I need to check. Let's make sure that it's rotated correctly. This one is rotated like this, and then the other one has to be blue closest. Okay, so this one is 180 rotator. That's 180 rotator. That's it. And then I just need to put it on top of the other ones, like so, and we have a perfect shape. Damn, how easy was that? Next one complete. All right, we are making good progress. There is a little bit of a way, but I think we are hitting our stride right now. And what is this one? This is basically the shape we have, plus another red diagonal on top. And since we have plenty of space over here, then let's see how quickly we can make that. There, and these ones are gonna be here, here, and I suppose there. Okay, maybe I can do there, just kind of leaving some more here. And that will just be, let's see. I'm thinking we just do it like this. So it gets us the same, and it needs to be rotated. So we just need a rotator like this. And then it is opposite of the other one. And then we build it here. And is that correct? Perfect. Can't believe we actually have waiting time here, or I actually have significant waiting time. And this one completed before the first of our latest shape is actually coming in and being tested. So unlock 2 more points, 30 more platform limits. Excellent. We just needed it to accrue. Right. So what is this one? This one changes the second level. So second level is no longer an uncolored one, but a blue one instead. And then the uncolored one goes on 3rd floor. So what that means is actually where this is being brought in, I actually need to put this on top of a blue square. That one. So if I can do that, so I just need a blue square in here in the lower left hand corner, and there is a blue square here. So I think it was actually something like, if I just cut it immediately, then oops, then it would, is this a 180? Yes. So this is basically just a cutter. So I can take this and just replace it, go down here, and then replace all of this with cutters there. That's the same speed. And then I get that, and then I just need to rotate it a little bit, and it was in the lower left hand corner like that. Good. Let's see. Are you getting what you need? Yes, you get the blue. And let's see what this resolves into. Resolves into that shape. Looks good. This doesn't look good though. There. That looks better. And that resolves here into the correct shape when it actually cleans it out. So that takes a little bit of time before it cleans out the belts, because it has to go from here all the way in, merge, up and over. That is the blue one completed, and we get 3 points for this one at least. And then we get the last one. So this is actually funny, because this design here is exactly just take the the diagonal. So I could solve this in two different ways. I could do this with my diagonal deleter here, the diagonal cut. That should be correct, like this. Or we can try to complete it even faster by actually using our newly designed here diagonal splitter. Because if I do the diagonal splitter, I can actually get it in here. Oh, I wish I could disable that one going in. There. Because now it actually produces it at double speed. Ooh, I like double speed. That's nice. And that means this milestone should actually be completed incredibly fast. Yet another one is completed. This one. And we have 2 left on this, and we also have 1 more here. But this one, so what do we now need to do? Now the top level, instead of just being red, we just have to put in a diagonal for that. So I'm actually going to do that from here. That should be good enough. Here. And then we do the diagonal deleter. That's this one. Isn't it? Yes, that is. Good. And it doesn't matter which one it is. We just get the diagonals here. And we can just plop it on top. As long as it is the right location. Yes. So it actually should be fine if we just put it in like that. You can look at that. That's how easy it goes. And now we're also getting the 2 ones. Other ones are coming in. And particularly, I just turned this one around here because I thought that would be nicer. And if we remove the top layer so we can see. Okay, so these are coming in incredibly quickly. So that should not be a problem. There we go. 2 more completed. And there we go. This is the last one. So we get 8 points. Look at that. We might actually get to, or we will actually get to the final point here. And now we only have 1 left on this one. And this is replacing the 1 tile with a different shape. So I did, of course, because I was having waiting time. So I did prepare and just found, you know, I actually have the exact shape I need down here. So there's no reason to make it. We just drag it home because once we're done with this, I can delete all of this. So even though we spent some platform points, it's not going to be like a permanent thing. So that's actually not here at all. I want it's actually for this one. So this one goes away, and then I need to bring it up here. That one, and if I just bring it in, then let's see. It's not correct. So I need it to be rotated. So let's just get a random rotator. That one. And is that going to be correct then? Yes. And then I hope that it actually does this, because this should just slot right into the next one. It does not. It does not. There's something wrong with this. Yeah. Yeah, because I think it falls down. What the hell is going on here? No, that's... Okay, there's definitely something wrong about this. The stuff that comes in here... Well, I have to look at what is the projected outcome. Because this thing... it's the wrong sequence. It's supposed to be... It didn't really matter which one went on top of each other when they were not stacking. But now it actually does matter. So at this point, it actually is the other way around. That I need this to be flipped. There. Cut. Flip. Like that. Here. And like that. That should be better. Yes. Much better. Good. Because once a layer is made, it doesn't break apart. Right, and well, let's actually, hold on, let's just check that we actually get it correctly. And yes, it is the correct shape. Good. And then we only have 1 remaining left. And this one is, compared to the previous one, it's just another red, white thing here. So instead of deleting, we're actually going to go with a splitter here. So that one. And let me see. This one actually has to go first. Yeah, it's not only a matter of not having enough space here. Okay, I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna take you out as well. And then get this back in. And then I think I want it to go here. Like that. So, first things first. What are we getting out? Is this the right place? Yes. So, I think you can go up here and just smash it directly in. Great. And that's definitely not correct. So, it needs a rotator. There. That's correct. And the other one is then gonna be... Oh, I'm not gonna put rotators on both. That's silly. There. And... Right, so let's get it here. And the first one is diagonal up that way. Yes. Okay, so we should be, this should be good. That goes here. And that goes here. And maybe? Let's try it. Yes. And yes. Perfect. So that's going to be, oh, that's the last one of this. And the other one is also the last one. Wow. Okay. So we're going to be letting this one run. And that is actually how we do this. So let's check back once these are done. We're closing in on the final milestone. Let's take a look at the blueprints that we are actually using, the designs, because the objective of this video was to show you how easy it is to build once you have some really good modules. So these modules are of course also available to Patreon supporters, but we've also built them here on camera, so you can just build them yourself if you see that. The simple one is, this is the one not really saved, but this is just basically do a little simple operation and go out again. For example, rotate or cut and rotate and cut again or something like that. And then we have the stacker. This is 4 lanes in to 2 sides, and therefore it can be in a small block. Then we have this one. This is the diagonal cutter. This one will cut a diagonal and send it out. So you might need to rotate it before or after, depending on what you need. This one is the one we designed today, which is actually the diagonal splitter. So if we need both diagonals, then we can split it, or we can sort of also just always use this and then just delete the part that we don't need. Again, this one is only for, there we go, we got it complete. This one's only for 4 lanes, but we can always just level up in multiple levels. This one was for this diagonals 2 side by side. And there was also a nice little operation that we sometimes need. And then we have the only one that actually takes 8 lanes in, and that's 2 times 8 lanes in, coming in to be set up here as 8 lanes out, but stacked on top of each other. So this is also going to be super useful. And with that, we have the final unlock here, and the final unlock here, we have over 57 points. So we could go in and get some upgrades for the 3rd floor if that's what we need, or we could get it for maybe just save up for some faster build speed and painting speed if that's what we want. But we'll see that in the next episode when we, well, they'll finally take a look at the paint stuff. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. And also remember, I am streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nilaus. And there we're playing with Insane, so it's much more difficult designs that we're working on. But the idea is the same. Modularity wins the day. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.